What up, y'all, and welcome to the Alien Isolation finale from memory. So the Alien Isolation rendering got messed up, I think because I was playing a match of Shogi on a browser while it was rendering, and there was something weird with graphic acceleration that caused it to just be a blank screen with no audio, which is the 54 minutes of silence video that I uploaded. It was super unfortunate because the finale was really awesome, and as you know, it was the last episode because finale. It's kind of sad losing that video, but now I want to play Dead Space, and before I do that, I feel like I need to show you the finale. So it started off, you first get here, I'm not sure how you get. I think there's an elevator that takes you here. Walk in, you go in here. The alien's already running around. You go in here. I think there was a face hugger in here. Kill that guy. And you come out here, use the key card on that. I think that you find on a body here. And then that basically opens up this red X up here. And so you go this way, dodging the alien. There's a spot to hide right here. I didn't hide in it, but it is there. And then you go around here. You go in here, get to this door, and it's like, power's off. So you have to go all the way back around this way, turn the generator on again, and then go all the way back over here. This opens up, and then you can take the vent to the exit. And the vent to the exit leads to this room where you come in this way. You got to activate both of these. It's one of those rooms where like there's the vents underneath that goes like this. There's like the vent, you crawl under here. You can go this way, pop out these sides here, or you can pop out down here. I don't know if you remember that room, but there's a couple times you're in there. But you activate both of these, and then you go and activate this computer here. And this is all to basically make it so that you can dock with the Torrens, so you can get off the space station Sevastopol in the first place. After you do that, you go up these stairs into this room and use this computer, which you then find out that you need to manually dock the Torrens through this airlock down here. So you're like, okay, I'll go on a spacewalk, and you go this way, and that's when you encounter two aliens in this room. There's two aliens, and so you gotta sneak your way down the stairs. I crawled in the vent and eventually made it out through the airlock here. But once you get to the airlock, you get your spacesuit and you get your helmet, and as you're looking in your helmet, you look up and there's a reflection of the alien just in a vent above you, and that makes it so that you fall into a vent, down an elevator, all the way into a room that's like, I don't know, I don't really know where it's at, we'll just say it's down here, and you pass out. And then when you wake up, Ripley's like tied to a wall, you know, like how in the reactor room in the basement all the people were just kind of put up in the wall. Ripley's tied to a wall. You break out, you find your way through these winding tunnels to a room, and then you go through this like transit room where the transport shuttles that kind of railway across the entire station go, and they're trying to kill you by like driving through this tunnel that you have to cross. It's like crossing an active highway basically. And then there's a couple pits in the floor for you to hide from them in. And then once you get past that, you end up winding around all the way back to this side where you're not sure if the Torrens is still there, but it is. And so you go around, get back to the airlock, and then you go on this spacewalk where you just kind of walk over here. There's debris flying everywhere. There's planet, the sun, everything. The sun's over here. It's really bright. It looks really cool. And then you get to this platform here, and once you get to this platform, you have to manually engage the docking things so that you're trying to get to the Torrens. And so you go through this whole process where you activate a computer, and then there's like 4 cylinders in here that you have to like activate. You like open them, flip a switch, and then put them back. And then when you do that, there's like 10 million aliens at this point fucking chasing you. And so kind of panic and disengage this like specific platform, I think, or something. And because it's hooked to the Torrens, and then you hook yourself to it, you disengage it, and go flying into space, or you go flying into space that way. And then you are on the Torrens in the airlock. And so you made it back to the Torrens. You're like, yes, finally got back to my ship. The captain, Verlaine, or the pilot, I don't know if she's the captain, but she's not answering. So you're like, Verlaine, where are you, Verlaine? You get in here. There's a door that you can open by pressing a button. You press that button and bam, there's an alien in there. One of these looking guys. And then you back up into this airlock here, and then you press a button, screen goes black, and then Ripley in a spacesuit is just kind of floating off in space. And it's like, oh, well, Ripley's probably dead now, because now she's just floating into space. But she got away from the alien. But then all of a sudden, you see a light shine onto Ripley's face from presumably a spaceship. And that's when credits happened. It was a really fun finale, a lot of challenges. The double aliens was a lot of fun. The whole game was really well put together. I enjoyed the entire thing. Every time a mission would end, I'd be like, okay, now we're at the finale for sure. And then there'd be another mission, and then another mission, and then another mission. And so there was a lot to the game, a lot to do, a lot of collectibles. The alien learns from your playthrough, so it was really interesting to see the alien like adapt to how you play. The variation of going against humans, androids, and the aliens, and everything was really cool. Very good parallels there. But yeah, overall, I'd give the Alien Isolation game, like, honestly, 10 out of 10. It was fire. I didn't have any complaints with it at all. There was not one thing where I was like, oh, that could have been better. So yeah, this dev team cooked. Apparently they're making a sequel, so at some point there'll be Ripley in space too, and we'll see how that goes. Now that this frees me up to make my Dead Space video, so I'm gonna get Dead Space and play through that and make a video on that. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed. Good luck and Godspeed.